Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us.
This is Gemini here with the PopCulture Effect, and today it is me and two of my best of friends.
Thanks.
With Subset.
Heyo.
And Menace.
Heyo.
And I'd
Hey,
say
don't steal my shit.
and I'd say we have a decent chunk of, but I think it's
Cringe.
kind of it's probably really cringe, and I don't want to say it. So fellow nerds,
And dorks.
any whoosies.
I'd like to add this little bit at the start of the episode to kind of add an addendum to the topic I discussed last week, which were the Pixar layoffs. I really truly do not understand how I missed this, since it happened on the Monday when I started editing for that week's episode, and this apparently happened, where Pixar has eliminated 75 positions. And this is all due to Walt Disney's chief executive Bob Iger and his announced plan to eliminate 7,000 jobs, which is again just disheartening. I thought I would give a little bit more context for this story since it did have more information come out about it, and once again, and all of us here hope that each and every one of those individuals affected by these layoffs and cuts are able to get back on their feet and get back out into the workforce.
Subset, we got new Resident Evil or new remakes for Resident Evil coming out.
Yes. At first, a lot of people believe it were rumors, but no, they've been confirmed that they're in the works at the moment. So time will tell when we really will see them. But Gemini might like one of these releases because they've announced that Resident Evil 0 remake and Code Veronica remake are in the works.
Oh, yes.
Something like, I will admit, a lot of people have been waiting for, specifically for Code Veronica, because they haven't really done anything with the IP since its release.
Well, they did have like a mild remake it was one of their like offshoots. It got kind of like Code Veronica X, technically. That was like, kind of like a remake, not necessarily. I think they like fiddled with it a little bit. I know they made, Resident Evil Survivor. That was the, I think, remake, quote unquote. That was like the Code Veronica remake, quote unquote, was Survivor. I thought there was another one, but maybe there wasn't. Let me look up the character that I'm thinking of. My favorite character, appearances. What games did you appear in? Survivor, Code Veronica. Was it Dark Side Chronicles, or was that a movie? Yes,
No,
the Dark Side Chronicles.
It was a Wii game.
Yeah, so it was like Code Veronica technically also in Dark Side Chronicles, but I have been wanting a full-on remake of this game. It's so
Which, yes, I was waiting for the remake, at least a smart part me, for Resident Evil 0, because I played that a lot. Fun fact, never finished it because I was a small little kid and I lost the game when I couldn't really give my older brain a try on it.
me with Code Veronica, honestly.
Like, shit. But seeing it being redone, retouched, to see it in the same element as Re 2 or 3, I'm excited. Meaning, I get to see Rebecca again! Let's go! All the Rebecca stands out there. Woo, we're eating.
Best girl Rebecca, but never mind. I'm gonna call myself out too much if I say who I want to see.
Also, to your Resident Evil fans of Claire, we're getting another game about Claire.
I mean, Claire is probably for me personally, one of the best female protagonists. I know Jill she's a bad bitch. Yeah, I mean Ada's pretty good too, but like Jill.
Hey, look.
Claire is. Mwah.
Look, with how Jill, they're fumbling the ball a little bit in Jill, in my opinion, especially how they're treating her. But that's a whole other discussion.
In the first game, Jill was mwah. But Claire, there's just something about Claire.
Hey, I'm right with you.
There's also something about Steve Burnside, too.
But that's just me.
Now, my question is that specifically how 2 is, well, not 2, Zero. And wait, is Code Veronica also like fixed cameras?
The original was, yes, because that was during the old era
Yeah,
of Resident
I
Evil,
remember
where it
that
was
one.
the fixed camera angles and the tank controls.
And I guess I was thinking of X, because I've seen a lot of gameplay of that one.
Code Veronica X also, yeah, they both had the fixed camera angles and the tank controls. Yeah, that was old Resident Evil style, so it's gonna be interesting to see it in the over-the-shoulder camera aspect.
Specifically on Zero, seeing that a good part, at least the beginning, you're on a train, and I remember the train part because I did that majority of that part countless times. There's not a lot of room there.
I wonder if they're gonna do the original aspect of how Zero was, where, granted, I played Zero for a very short time, but I remember watching some, like, people play it. You, like, technically, you could take control of Billy and Rebecca whenever during the whole thing, right?
Yes,
For, like, a good chunk of it.
companion swap.
Yeah,
The
I wonder if they're gonna
companion
keep
swap.
that.
I do wish, because it's such a cool concept where you can just swap to the other character, like specifically if you're in two different spots, because usually when you're in two different spots, if you're still connected, you need one character to either be stuck or trapped, or you need one character to go somewhere else while you have the other characters on the other place, so you can trigger stuff back and forth and get the shit going on. I do hope they might keep that, might touch up a little bit more, or they give us, in my opinion, a little bit of a glimpse of co-op until they decided to do the Re 5 remake, if they're still gonna do the Re 5 remake.
They
I'm not
could
sure.
do that. I mean, on one, they could do that because they could have it to where how it was in the original, where they were kind of like controlled by the AI in the original, right? When you weren't.
Yeah,
controlling
but
the
you can also command them to do like, be more defensive or be more focused in attack, focus on a certain thing.
But they
I
could
feel like
do that.
My only problem is, at least on the train part, because train part is a bit claustrophobic, and they decided to show us a quick glimpse of how they're gonna do co-op if they decide to go that route. It's gonna be a bit, close, and there's also, if I remember, there is friendly fire in Zero, so if we're not careful, but I can be wrong. But if you decide to keep friendly fire, if that is still, was there, that's gonna add another layer of, watch yourself.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just sitting and waiting because I've always been pleasantly surprised with the remakes and how, like, the new systems and stuff that they add in, or like how they will essentially implement stuff from their newer games into their remakes.
Yeah. I just can't wait. It's just to see at least both of them all touched up, because I've been going through the remakes to really get the whole experience going. And if this is going down, perfect. Fully perfect. It's gonna come all circle, boys. It's gonna come full circle.
Full smirkle.
My thing, I wonder if they're ever gonna do what they've been doing with the other ones. Granted, it wasn't really like a stalker in Zero, and I highly doubt there was one in Veronica. I know there was maybe like a level in Veronica involving somebody, but isn't that like a boss fight?
I was gonna say, I don't recall there being a stalker element.
Veronica was
In
more of a
Veronica.
stealth, wasn't it?
Veronica was kind of more just another like Resident Evil game, but it had some other like tidbits to it. But I don't.
No, I'm
really
thinking of
recall.
Veronica too.
None of these
aren't
games
I?
are
When you-
stealth games.
Well, oh no, I'm thinking of when you play as the little girl in Veronica. You
No,
gotta, like-
you don't play as a little girl in Code Veronica.
John about 2?
Yeah, you're talking.
But I could be, yeah.
And even then,
Okay,
in the
yeah.
original 2, you don't play as Sherry. You only ever do that in the remake.
No. The little girl that Veronica's the one where they're on the island, right?
Mm-hmm. There's no little girl though.
Yeah, the one that didn't show fear to the virus thing, and
Oh!
Lady Wesker tries to transfer her mind to her.
But I think we're talking about the different games.
See, that's why I was asking. The one where
Now we're digging in.
the medic chick from Zero and Claire both get trapped on an island. They're injected with a virus where if they show fear, it can cause mutations.
Maybe that's from one of the Revelation games?
That's
That's Revelate. Yes.
Yeah, because that's not
Okay.
That's not. Oh my God, what's her name? You just said it. Medic chick. Rebecca. That's not Rebecca. That's Barry's daughter.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Because then
I don't doubt it.
That's why
kinda
Barry
similar.
comes back. Yeah, they do.
No, yeah, that's Claire and Barry's daughter. No, in Veronica, there's no children. I guess if you want to call Steve a child because he's like what 17.
Oh,
I think
Veronica's the
16.
one with Steve. Okay.
Yeah.
The best boy.
Yeah, honestly.
The bestest boy.
He's a
Would they
simp.
retcon him? Would they retcon him dying? Whoa, no.
They're gonna make you
Whoa.
suffer through that again because they know everybody's gonna suffer through it.
Oh, dude, I'll take suffering with Steve anytime.
Dude, alright, say what you want about Steve. Steve was ready to be a ride or die for Claire at that moment.
He was
Because
a ride or
mattered.
die for Claire. What do you mean he was? That homie was a ride or die for Claire. He only knew her for 5
was a
seconds.
simp.
He may have been a simp, but he was ready to ride or die for that.
Damn. Hey, someone needs to carry on the Redfield genes, right?
We all know
Honestly.
Leon's not going to.
Yeah, Leon's too busy getting swooned by Ada or the president's daughter.
Which, well, we both know Ada, as much as everybody will like to like her, she is a problem. Actually,
Yeah.
there's also a
can
layer of
fix her.
problems.
I can. That's Leon. He's like, I can fix her.
Endgame. I'm sorry, I don't care. They're endgame. There's a
Ah.
reason why they have a daughter together. Her name is Sherry.
Yeah, that is a nice alternate
No,
time.
Leon's a single father. That's what that is.
No, not single father. They are co-parenting a child that they adopted from unfortunate events.
Nah,
because
Steve and Claire.
Because you gotta remember, afterwards, Claire went back into their thing. Leon's the one that stayed with Sherry, and the only reason why he joined up with the government is to
So
keep
they don't
Sherry
experiment on Sherry, but
Yeah.
that still didn't. The thing is, fun fact, that same
That's single
time that
father
she
energy
left,
right there.
that's also what's going down in Code Veronica. So in Code Veronica is when she was gone.
I was gonna say, what is
Oh.
the time frame from 2 to Code Veronica?
Actually, hold up. I need to double check because I could be wrong. I thought it could be that Code Veronica may be a prequel to.
And I don't think it's a
What
prequel because
happened?
no, it's not because in Code Veronica, at one point,
No, 'cause
Claire's
2
like, "I need to
was-
call for backup," and I think she tries to get a hold of Leon originally,
Yeah, she does.
and she
But
meets Leon in 2.
in 2 was their first time with the virus, so they wouldn't know anything.
This is not a credible.
This is an incredible source.
Resident Evil 2 took place in September of 98. Code Veronica took place in December of 98. So it is pretty much not a couple months after 2.
But yeah,
Okay,
like
so-
Subset said, that's literally what happens to Claire after she leaves.
Which I
Yeah,
much
oh
as
yeah,
much as
'cause-
they still
Because that's
take
why she
care of each other.
that's why she shows up at the island, because she's looking for Chris.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she's
right.
looking
Yeah,
for
she's
her
looking for her brother. And then Chris Redfield like rolls in halfway through and he's like, "Where's my sister?"
That's like the first half of this franchise in Resident Evil is Claire looking for Chris while Chris is
Honestly,
looking for
Yeah,
Claire.
that makes sense why it's a couple months later because that's the whole point of her story in 2. She's like, "Hey, where's my brother?" She doesn't find her brother, so she's September, October, November,
And then
December.
finding
3
out the
months.
secrets, what Umbrella was doing.
Yeah, and
it
then
goes
3
on to a
months
whole
later-
crusade.
Yeah, 3 months later, she's like, "Hey, where's my brother?"
But I still find it the funniest shit that throughout the whole time, even during 2, we find out that Chris is looking for Claire as well. And then, so it's literally through 3 games, essentially. You
Just
got
2 siblings looking for each other.
You got them, literally, it's like the scene in shows where one person will walk into a room and be like, "Hey, where's this person or this person? Oh, I saw him over there." And as they walk out of the room, as Claire walks out of the room, Chris walks in the room. "Hey, where's Claire?"
Honestly, that really is those two their sibling dynamic. But I'm excited for the fact of a Resident Evil 0 remake, but I'm more excited for Code Veronica because Code Veronica was honestly my favorite of all of the games. The first game is pretty good. It's it was the first one. It's got
You
a
don't like boulder punching Chris Redfield.
5
Sorry,
doesn't exist in my 6.
Wow.
6 doesn't exist. No, 6
So
doesn't
Wesker's
exist.
Wesker's
Wow.
just still alive in your timeline.
No, you. At that point, we wouldn't have Shava, motherfucker.
No, I redacted 6 doesn't exist in my
Okay,
mind.
look. As much 6 is getting so much flack, it's a decent game.
I was gonna say,
With how much
I
money
know
you're paying
someone.
for.
I know someone in this house where I'm currently sitting in who would ride or die for 6. It's his favorite, so that's whatever. But it's a shame they
6
never made a
is-
6th game.
6. I'm not thinking of the wrong one. 6 is the final showdown between Chris and Wesker, isn't it?
No.
No, not with the Ouroboros.
That's 5.
That's 5.
It's 5. Oh.
6 is a whole new strain. It's called the C virus, adapted
Yeah, that's
from
where, like,
the other
the
viruses
six-
mixed
that's
in.
6 is the one that's got like what 3-4 plot lines in like one game.
Yeah, but they all consent to one hole in the very end. That's
That one like starts out with the president turning into a zombie, right?
Yeah, if you're
With
doing
Leon?
Leon's side, and then there's one for
okay, and then they're caught in that
Chris
like,
and
school building,
Alan, whatever.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, they're at a school or
Carrie and Jake, and then
something.
there's Ada.
like a college or something.
I think it's a college.
College.
but It's some campus of some kind. I
Yeah.
don't recall.
It
I
was
played a
not
little bit of it.
campus. He was doing a interview at
Oh, that's the one where
Place
like
Countdown.
Or wait, no, it's
that's the
Leon
one
in
with the
China.
clone of Ada and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're right. Leon starts off with the president.
Yeah.
Save his
And then-
daughter. Now I
yeah.
gotta kill him.
That's when Jake died.
Well, no.
Oh
Jake's
shit,
the
my
one.
roommate dies.
Or not? Oh no,
Damn.
not Jake. What was his partner? Chris's partner? The kid?
Jack, some guy
Yeah.
named Joe the J, Alan, some shit. I can't remember.
Alan.
From certain mechanics that I'm gonna think of how they're gonna at least do it, because at least in Zero, the whole point of having your buddy was also a way of managing your inventory. Seeing both of them didn't really have, for example, Rebecca didn't have a lot of space, but healing items from her do better. While Billy, he had a lot of space and he can tank hits better.
Oh, dude, when are we gonna
And
get
then
another
you-
game with Billy?
And then you'd give Rebecca all the big guns so she can handle the enemies. And then she got kidnapped by the goddamn centipede. And then you're running around with Billy with nothing but a pistol.
Good times. I wonder if they're gonna keep that whole shtick to it, or they're gonna remove that and do something different.
It's
It'd be interesting to see.
It'd be interesting, but at this point, it's just all speculation. Tragic.
Imagine
Yeah.
if they do co-op and then it turns into like what is It Takes Two, the prison game where like you actually go through different sections, like a split screen style different section.
Ooh, that would work, especially like for when. Yeah.
When
Because
Rebecca
that's
gets
usually
kidnapped,
what
yeah.
was the epitomis of Zero. It's the whole buddy system of you switching,
Mhm.
because you have to make one character. Also, fun fact: if you don't use the right, sometimes not giving the right character for certain parts. For example, in the train part, when you get on top of the train, depending on which character that you put up there, right, they'll get stuck because they'll get stuck in a room from getting busted through a hole, and the only way to get the key card, you gotta go through like a miniature boss fight. So if you don't have, like, for example, if you have Billy in there, Rebecca is not. You're gonna have a harder time with Rebecca through that because she cannot take hits as much as Billy can. And that one boss fight that's coming up, there's not a lot you can really do in terms of moving around. So sometimes you do need to take a hit or two. So I'm wondering if they're gonna keep, if they do co-op and they're gonna keep the different segment thing that was Zero's shtick. I hope they make them a little longer, and I really hope at least they do the co-op so we can see it going down. So
I feel
can
like
just
with
go down
that
with a
being
buddy.
Zero's
One of them
thing-
is yelling, "There's a slug! There's a slug!"
I feel like with that being Zero's thing though, I don't feel like they're gonna put the co-op in
Please, Capcom, just give me co-op and my life is yours, please.
I don't think they'll do it at least for Zero, but
No, Zero was what started, and then 5, pushed that even more. Well, 4 and 5, but 5 specifically pushed that, gave us the option. Please, Capcom, please. Just give us a glimpse of what to expect for 5. But other than speculation, is there anything, you guys have anything to say about this? I hope you guys do. You better.
I'm excited to see what they do. Like I said, I'm always pleasantly surprised at what they do with fixing up or changing up their mechanics or how the different like scenarios go.
Mm-hmm.
Which thing that's almost near the end, we'll make a small addendum from while I'm here. Up at the rumor mill, there was other games that they were progressing. Now with this recent,
Wasn't there a trailer for
announcement?
2 this week? There was a trailer for like a 2 remake or something like that.
They just
no,
remade 2?
No, that was Silent Hill 2. I'm completely.
Oh yeah, they did. I think they did fully have a release date, and I thought about talking about that, but I wanted to save Silent Hill 2 for pretty much like when it was out. I think.
So we can wait and we can just leave it at that.
Because there was a tweet that they made addressing characters' ages now at the current timeline, and this is just a rumor at this point. I need to double fact check this, but apparently they plan to do another remake of Resident Evil 1.
I did hear about that, and I am kind of intrigued by that because, the main remake that people think of, like the GameCube edition, oh, it's so good.
See,
Probably the best video game remake that's ever been done.
I'd rather see them continue the story. I want to see Ethan is gone and everything.
I would like to see that too, but I think they're doing this just to, seeing that the franchise is very old, they're just redoing certain plot holes, certain bullshit that.
I'm not saying it's bad for them to redo. This isn't another Skyrim thing where it's just like the same thing over and over again. They're actually
good in my
remaking
opinion.
these things from the ground up, and like
I know Skyrim has its whole open world thing, but so good to see this with a story game like this. So good. Some people say it's not needed given the last remake, seeing that last one was a remake that they did of 1, was pretty good and pretty decent, but this time around they're just updating it to the current how it is with 2 and 3, and they did mention a few things of making it a bit more difficult, making the zombies a bit more bullet sponges.
Yeah, but honestly,
which that was the whole point of the first one, because the first one was supposed to be difficult. The zombies, you had limited ammo, you gotta pick which ones, and then they turned to the red one. The red ones were coming back, and they're
Crimson Heads.
They're supposed to be even more deadlier than they originally were.
Dude, they're the main reasons why I never killed zombies.
because you have matches, and you're just like, nope, I'm just gonna dodge you. So there's gonna be a lot more rooms where you gotta dodge everything.
I don't know though. Like on one hand, the idea of a Resident Evil 1 remake sounds interesting. I feel like I don't think
would that just be called a re?
Yeah, like I don't think they should, just due to the fact that Resident Evil Remake is probably the pinnacle of a video game remake. They didn't really take away much of what the first original game for the PlayStation 1 and everything had. They heavily enhanced it. They added something with Lisa Trevor and everything, because she was not in the original game. She was an addition to Remake, her whole side story and everything, but it wasn't very obviously it wasn't awkward. It wasn't like a sore thumb sticking out. It legitimately meshed well with the story. It meshed well and added things and all that. And I don't know. I think it's a very nice segue for people to see how far they've come from the original game's gameplay style to what they are doing now. I don't really think it's a good idea to fully remake it in this new over-the-shoulder camera system. Resident Evil 4 was a good option because that was when they first introduced that new camera system, that new playstyle, and it was kind of wonky. The original Resident Evil 4, it's a good game. It's great. I love Leon's sex god Kennedy. He's such an amazing character, but it did need redone just due to the fact that it was the first time Capcom was doing that camera style and that new playstyle. It was awkward. It was weird. And everything. But I think that keeping Resident Evil 1 Remake as the first remake that they did, I think they should just do that. I don't think they should remake it to this new system because for me personally, it's because of that nostalgia.
It's an integrity thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an integrity thing. It's their original roots. It's not the original game, but it's original enough to where, it shows how the game originally played, what the camera system was like and everything, how the combat used to be and all that.
Especially when one of the big things that people were talking about when the remake came out was with the camera it feels exactly how it used to feel. I feel that terror of not knowing what's around that corner.
Yeah, the remake of 2, it was a good game. It was a good remake. It still had those moments of oh shit, that's kind of scary. But
you hear that stomping of Mr. X throughout the prison.
But I feel I don't know. I feel there's something about that fixed camera angle that just adds a level of horror to the game and tragically, I think that is one of the biggest downfalls of the Resident Evil franchise right now, is they're losing that horror aspect. In my opinion, they kind of are. They're branching away from horror and turning it more into a shooter system, just like all the other games are now. So maybe that's just me and not
Like,
really being a fan of shooters. And
Village had that fear factor.
Yeah,
but it wasn't that suspenseful fear like how early Resident Evil were. It's that jump scare type.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're seeing a good example of them going back to the roots. They're going to that direction.
Mhm.
And, you know, with 7 and Village, it's good stepping stones in the right way, because they did give you the atmosphere, actually left an impact on you while you're also going through doing puzzles, finding pieces, fighting the infected mold, whatever you want to call those things. And just to see how what's going to happen with Zero and Veronica, we'll just have to see how these games come out and how they're doing. Because in Zero, it was suspenseful. Like, you're on a train or you're on air, it's suspenseful. It's there. And I'm pretty sure, I have hope that they're going to keep on going with the horror trend that they started. Once again, you know, they're going back to it.
I hope so too. That's one of the reasons why Resident Evil's up there in like my top like survival horror, but it's never gonna be able to surpass Silent Hill, because what Silent Hill brings to the table is just mwah.
The mixture
Even
between
if they haven't had good games recently.
The mixture between the body horror and the psychological horror of Silent Hill is like just top notch to me.
Oh, it is, which is why I'm so excited for the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I guess if we want to add this as like an addendum or whatever, Robbie, go for it. Does he have his own little like subsection for that? I don't know.
Yes.
We have finally gotten, I'm just gonna say it now, yeah, because I was gonna talk about, do a whole thing about it, but I've already talked about the Silent Hill 2 remake enough, and I could talk about Silent Hill for days. But quick addendum for, Rockin Snorbird over there. We do finally have a release date for the Silent Hill 2 remake from Bloober Team, which is October 8th of this year, and I'm so f***ing excited.
I hope they fix the ending.
What's wrong with the ending?
I
There's
want
4
the
endings.
collector's edition.
You what?
I want the collector edition of it. They give you a model of Pyramid Head and the Shibu on the computer.
Oh, so cute.
They also give you a 1-for-1 jacket of the main character's jacket. It looks like a good.
I should say that the ending where it's like the ending that essentially ended not how the movie ended, because the movie's different obviously, but like whereas like the did he survive? Did the god take over? What happened? Like,
well, that's kind of the whole thing with Silent Hill and its endings. They're meant to be open-ended because that's the whole point.
The only ending that I believe that actually happened is the dog ending.
I think
the dog is in control of it all.
I think with Silent Hill 2, the canonical ending, spoiler alert if you haven't played 2, what the f*** are you doing?
It's confusing as
It's
hell.
very
It is
old.
confusing.
And
There's
a lot
4
of lore.
endings. Yeah, there's 4 endings, but I think what Konami has considered the canonical ending, I believe, is the in-water ending, where James pretty much commits suicide. Because in Silent Hill 3, when Douglas is driving Heather to Silent Hill, he references how he's been to Silent Hill before on a case looking for a missing man and everything. And I don't remember if at one point you get a little like readable tidbit of that case, or if it was later implied, but it was pretty much implied that that case revolved around him looking for James, but he couldn't. But he said it was open, it was a cold case. So I think it's like Konami pretty much like implied that the ending where James commits suicide over his immense guilt for killing his wife was the canonical ending of 2.
I
Granted,
think they're ever gonna come out with one where we actually like fix the curse of Silent Hill.
I don't know, because it's been stated that the town of Silent Hill has always kind of had an eerie curse about it, just due to its history. I mean, I think it was
Wouldn't possibly be the hell portal that's underneath the town.
Oh no, but I think with the lore of the town is like it was originally as everything in some kind of media an Indian burial ground, I think, at some point, and then like this town moved in, and then these cultists moved in.
Look, people, Silent Hill is a bit confusing, so forgive give us.
It really is, but I don't think there's ever going to be a game where you like fix Silent Hill because it's just like an epicenter for hell.
Yeah, but like, or like, not even like you actually do it, but like someone actually goes in and like the whole goal of you is to try to fix it, and like I feel like
the whole point
like
of
try to
going
find
through
the
Silent
root
Hill
of the
that I've
problem.
noticed, specifically with 2, is just you're going against your greatest fear. For example, Pyramid Head is James's internal like darkness in a way.
They embody their like
Their desires.
Yeah, because that's the whole
stuff
point of
that.
granted, in 1 and 3, it was a bit different because you were kind of like dealing with the
actual realm.
Yeah, the realm and like the person who kind of cursed the town. But in the other games, the people are there because they're pretty much being like judged and tormented for their sins.
Yeah, it's what I think like most people, when they try to explain what Silent Hill is, essentially purgatory.
Yeah, it's pretty much purgatory, where people who have committed great sins in life are pretty much drawn to this town so they can atone for their sins in some form of manner.
It just happens to be a warped, twisted place of hell.
Yeah,
well,
that's why
I mean, sometimes when you're battling mental illness, a lot of times your world does seem relatively twisted and everything to what other people have. I mean, a great example of how things differ is in 2. All of the adult characters see Silent Hill as this twisted, malformed hellscape, but the little girl, whose name escapes me, I can't remember her name, like to her, it's just an abandoned town because she's a child. She hasn't committed any great sins in life. So I think that's a very nice way to kind of even just explain it in a sense. Or like that's one of the best ways the game has been able to explain how Silent Hill works.
We've been rambling so much this episode.
This week I wanted to bring back the manga talk, and there's some very important things I gotta talk about. There are a lot of manga that are entering their final arc or have seemingly wrapped up their story, and there's also some that are starting brand new stories, and I just want to take a moment to kind of reflect on everything that's happened in the past couple weeks. Now, the most notable changes to the manga world is the ending or near end of both the original series of My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, here's a little tidbit. My Hero's manga is ending, but they are still gonna release their 4th movie, and who knows how many more before they actually end the show. And I just want to add this little extra piece of information that Horikoshi has actually went on to confirm that he will be carrying on My Hero past its final arc to kind of bring back the home roots of it being a school slice of life anime. The other manga ending soon that I know of is Black Clover. However, I honestly massively fell off after the time skip in the anime, so all I can say is maybe with this final arc it'll maybe give me the incentive to go back and start from where I left off. And obviously I can't really mention manga endings without touching on the fact that Bleach is ending their anime with 1,000-year blood war, and you can check out one of our older videos to hear Blaze go over that in detail. Now, these mangas and anime that are ending are coupled with the stories that are still going strong, like Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, and of course Dragon Ball with its inevitable return with Daima, and even One Piece, which is still going strong today, and it's still introducing new concepts, but at its core it's still kind of the same show. It's very interesting to see the anime and manga that creators decide to stick with, the ones that they decide to redesign, and the ones they decide to shift to another medium. For one small example, I for one loved the fairy tale art style and character design, and I'm still waiting on the 100-Year Quest, the anime adaptation by the way, but Hiro Mashima basically did it 3 different times across his first manga, Rave Master, then to Fairy Tail, and then to Eden Zero. And then you have the recent announcement that Cells at Work is going to get a live-action film adaptation, which for me, I am always trepidatious about live-action adaptations. And that's not even talking about the gaming side of things, with Hunter x Hunter getting a Marvel vs. Capcom-esque 2D fighter, both Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash and Naruto Storm Connections getting DLC for more fighters. From Jujutsu Kaisen, we've got a 5-character DLC pack, and that's going to come with 2 characters being free, which is Mai Zenin and Momo Mishima, and the other 3 characters that are paid are Early Geto, Early Gojo, and Todo. Now, these 5 characters are pretty interesting, all things considered, with with what's been shown off. There are 2 new stages coming to Cursed Flash, with those being the stages involved with Gojo and Toto's fights, which I really liked because honestly those were my favorite parts of the entire anime as a whole, unless we get into manga territory. And Naruto's Storm Connections got a DLC featuring Kurenai. Now this is a really interesting character, as I've seen from Globecu's channel that she is taking a lot of inspiration from Itachi and some of the abilities he had in previous fighting games. But her moveset's pretty cool. It's based around genjutsu and flowers, and if you've seen the anime, you know what move is her ultimate that she failed to pull on Itachi. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it was a little bit of a smaller DLC, but still worth mentioning. Heading over to Naruto Shinobi Strikers, they're getting a huge update. They're going to have 3 new melee weapons, which is going to give you a complete unique combo set with something akin to Sasuke's Skeletal Susanoo, Itachi's Skeletal Susanoo, and Naruto's QB Chakra mode. There's also going to be a 2-tailed beast ultimate coming to the game, which kind of opens up the door for every single tailed beast to have their own ultimate be made for them, which I'm extremely excited for. And finally, there's going to be an animal companion that's going to help you in battle, and this doggo is going to be able to be upgraded, and you can also level him up as well to increase his attack potency, and he can also heal you if you get the right gacha system mechanic. And if you're a real one who remembers about me mentioning Globecu, he's had a theory, an anime theory, that the Demon Slayer Mario Party clone is just a way for them to use assets they already have for Demon Slayer 2 and give them another day in between to give more development time. My Hero Ultra Rumble got its latest character with Mirio, and his permeation is going to be a really unique addition to this game. And we also get a tease for the new quirk set for Dabi. And also we get the first actual change to the map, with a whole segment of the map being completely redone and changed, which I am all for. I have been waiting for this map to be changed since launch, and I am so excited, and I hope this becomes a more frequent thing that they do. And the last big news bulletin, we're heading over to Dragon Ball, because Xenoverse 2 is getting its biggest DLC in a long time with DLC 17. There's going to be 3 more smaller DLCs, but this first one's a big one because it's going to include 3 separate stories. This will include a new story with Fu messing with the future, one featuring a new story with Goku Black, another new story featuring Vegeta having this evil Super Saiyan God power against Beerus, which I feel is just Xenoverse's version of Ultra Ego, but you know, it's still Super Saiyan God. And the last one that I'm the most excited for is we're going to see base form DBZ movie Broly and his blue Super Saiyan form, which kind of confirms to me that we're going to see other expansions feature old stories with new characters, with new power-ups, and also new unique content. Going off from that, we have even more Dragon Ball news, as we have Dragon Ball sparking with plenty of news, scans, and trailers that announced quite a lot of information. But first, I want to go over the reveals of Kefla, Kale, Goten, Trunks, their associated Super Saiyan and Fusion forms, and confirming Gogeta, Vegito, and Zamasu with his corrupted form. But not only that, we get a full concrete confirmation of a 5v5 battle. Now this was my favorite part of Budokai Tenkaichi, where I could just go in and have a full team fight with friends, but I also appreciate the fusion inclusion because my personal favorite thing to do in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was to fuse 2 characters together, see their health go way up, and then have a brand new moveset to tear apart the enemy with. And a little bit of more recent news, specifically with Sparking Zero, as they just released their latest trailer with more characters, a story mode announced, what ifs, which as you know I've been so excited for, and a release date of October 11th with a season pass, and the pre-order bonus is pretty interesting as you'll get both the Gammas from the Superheroes movie and an additional early access to the Super Broly movie characters. So we got Ultra Instinct Goku immediately confirmed, finally showing off Goku Black, Cell, Majin Buu, Majin Vegeta, Hercule, Great Ape Vegeta, and the ones that really surprised me were Super Saiyan God Vegeta, Golden Frieza, what could be Super Gohan, Bardock, Full Power Jiren, and the trio De Danger from Universe 9. And the one final thing I want to mention, just because I noticed it, is the fact that since Raditz is part of the story mode, we may actually get to see Raditz as a playable character. I am so excited for this, and I cannot wait to play this game on October 11th. You know know I'm gonna get the Ultimate Edition, get all the early access DLC characters, and just go ham on this game when it comes out. And for those of you that want to know more about the rest of the announcements happening at the Summer Games Fest, check back next week, and my friends will be going over some of the more interesting reveals and releases that happened. That's been a wrap up of a lot of what's been going on with anime and manga. I know I missed plenty more that are starting and ending, and that are still going strong to this day, but these were just some of the ones that I found most notable. That's all I have for this week, but it's time to send it back to my friends to end the episode.
But that's it on our end. I hope you guys had a wonderful time listening to us ramble on about our special interests and everything, because that's just who we are and what we've been doing for almost a year now. Holy shit. Anyway, my name is Gemini, but I would like to thank my two friends for joining me today to bring you guys the news in pop culture. Menace?
Yep. Make sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out the other shows that we got over on the CGSW website.
And Subset.
Heyo.
And then there's me, Gemini. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and a goodbye.
Goodbye.
Heyo.